Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We have the newly EZA GT trio. We're going to be showcasing them today. Mine has one dupe in it, so they got a little bit of extra, about them. Unfortunately, we don't have them on their 200% lead, of course, because I don't have pan. So this is all going to be on a 170 lead. I could run them on the 177 lead of their own. However, they don't really have the best linking partners on that said category, even though primarily their link set is all key links anyway. So we are running them on the GT Heroes team. That does actually play a part in their passive as well, so that is definitely going to help them out. And starting turn 1, as you can see, and as I said, they don't have too many attack links or attack and defense links. It's all just primarily key links, but we are missing Samuel Race, but that's only attack plus 5%, but we do have legendary power in GT, and we are guaranteed an 18k super. And turn 1, we are getting 145k attack stat pre-super and 97k defense as well. Now, the reason why this doesn't look as impressive is, one, again, I don't have the 200% lead, but more so is because at the start of turn, they only get defense plus 77%, and they get primarily all their buff on super, where they get the additional attack and defense plus 77% when performing a super attack. So that will jump up. But if you do have them EZA'd, if you have them on their 200% lead, let me know how you find them down in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's see what these guys can do on the 170 lead. So we're starting off with a 4.8 million attack stat. It's not bad. It's not bad. Considering their link set is primarily just key links, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's okay. It's okay. They're a bit more of a defensive focused unit, but, they haven't really got going yet. So in terms of their details, they are of course a Dragon Ball Seekers category lead, given key plus 4 and HP and attack and defense plus 177, or Super Int types get key plus 4 and HP and attack and defense plus 120. On 12 key, they raise attack and defense by 33% for 1 turn, cause colossal damage to the enemy and seals. That's going to be handy in Super Battle Road. Then we have, on the 18 key, raise defense by 33% for 3 turns, which of course it basically means for 3 turns they're going to kind of like mini stack for 3 turns on their defense. So defensively, after supering and during those, 3 turns, they can be pretty good defensively for a unit that doesn't have guard, doesn't have damage reduction or anything like that. Any additionals as well are going to help during the turn, especially on that final 3rd turn where they stack up for 3 turns with a 33%, because then if you have any dupes in them, you hit an additional, you can raise their attack and defense by 33% an extra time on their 12 key. So again, defensively, during those 3 turns, especially on the final turn, they can be pretty good once they've supered defensively, considering they don't have guard and damage reduction, etc. And they're not too bad offensively. Also on 18 key, they cause mega colossal damage to the enemy and lowers attack and defense. I've already said what they get at the beginning of their passive. They also get an additional attack plus 77% if it's an ultra super attack, which is very easy to get, and here's why. They get key plus 1 and attack plus 7% per Dragon Ball Seekers or GT Heroes category on the team, depending on which category has more members. Now, of course, I'm running a full GT Heroes team, which means one thing. They're getting the full boost of key and attack bonus from their passive because of the amount of GT Heroes category allies I have attacking in the same team. The same can be said if you have a full Dragon Ball Seekers team, and even better, of course, if you do have a Pan, because then you can run her 200% lead, which of course does involve Dragon Ball Seekers, where they'll be getting the full bonus and of course performing at their very pinnacle. So that's why it's always going to be very easy to constantly get their 18 Q off, which of course helps them kind of mini stack for 3 turns, constantly raising their defense by 32% and constantly maximizing their damage as well, with the extra attack plus 7% per category ally, and then of course the extra damage on the 18 key. So you're pretty much always guaranteed to 18 key with them, unless you kind of forcibly don't put them surrounded by Dragon Ball Seekers or GT Heroes category allies, which probably not the best idea to do, because then they'll be performing at a deficit. So we super attacked once. Their defense is on 129k, which is not bad. And again, to be fair, that's actually really not bad, considering they are going to get the attack and defense plus 77% on super attack. So having 129k is really not bad, and considering they're going to raise their defense by 33% again. Now this is a rotation where they don't have support, and not even just standard support. Big 3.7 mil crit though. But this is kind of like, I'm not even talking standard support, because I do have the GT Goten and Gohan here on this team to kind of like have the support for GT Heroes category allies. However, when it comes to ideal linking partners where I can run them, in terms of the 170 lead and who I can link them with, that goes to, unfortunately, because they're not that great, the LR, Goku, and Vegeta Jr. who we have on the team right now, who I'm about to float off, because not only do they share primarily all their kind of attacking links like Saiyan Warrior Race, Legendary Power, the only one they're missing is Solid Support, which of course the Goten and Gohan GT Hero support will supply. But then also the Goku and Vegeta Jr. will supply support for them as well, on top of having all their primary attack links active at the same time. So, as I said, in terms of their link set, it's not really the best in terms of actually supplying buffs. In terms of supplying ki, of course, is very good because you have the likes of Saiyan Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Shank the Limit, GT. It's very easy to link them on the categories you're going to be running them on, especially GT heroes. But as I said, the only problem with that is, as an actual set in terms of buffs, they're not getting a whole lot. As I said, you only get Saiyan Warrior Race, which is what, attack plus 5%, Legendary Power, and Solid Support, which not a lot of units actually have. And specifically where I can run them, I definitely don't have that aside from these two. So we do have some support right now. Yeah, we have the GT Hero support. We have all their links active that are going to give them attack buffs. I'm, of course, going to float these two off because otherwise, of course, the SJ4s are going to kill Vegeta right now. So with the support and all of their, attack buffing links, we have a 209k attack stat pre-super and 158k defense. Now, this is the final turn before they stop stacking their defense by 33% for 3 turns. And then, of course, the next time they come back, they'll reset again. So 158k defense prior to the 77% attack and defense they're going to get on super. That's actually quite solid. Same can be said about the attack stat. Again, they get no attack at the start of turn. This is just links and also the support from the GT Gohan and Goten, or Goten and Gohan. So the fact they're still going to get a 77% attack buff on super, having a 209k attack stat at the start of turn on a 170 lead, that's actually quite impressive. I'm not going to lie, because that's going to jump up a whole lot. What have they been putting out with only, what, 1 link active with the SSJ4s? Yeah, Legendary Power, because they didn't even have Saiyan Warrior Race active or Solid Support. So literally 1 attack link active, which is what, attack plus 10% on super. I mean, their attack stat should jump up quite a bit. They're putting out, what, 4.8 million? So now they have the support, their other 2 attack links active, and also they're going to get the additional 77% attack and defense when performing a super attack. So yeah, their attack stat should actually jump up quite a bit. 6.9, that's actually really, really good. 6.9. 6.9, literally just under 7 mil. With a 6.6 million crit. That's incredibly impressive. I'm not gonna lie, that's really good. And considering how ideal that rotation is with support, their links, the final turn for them, building up their defense. Defensively on super, they would have been pretty solid there as well. So I'm not gonna lie, that's really, really good. Okay, so unfortunately we lost quite a bit of health coming here and I didn't actually bring any healing items. So we'll pop an Usher. But yeah, in terms of their link set, it's not the best because they're not really getting supplied with much. I'm not really sure why they went with the whole kind of, just pack them out with key links. I kind of get it if you're not running them on Dragon Ball Seekers or GT Heroes category teams or essentially surrounded by them. However, because of the attack bonus they get and, the key itself, because of basically it's more profitable and, more beneficial to run them there, you kind of won't run them away from those category teams and category allies. So it would have been nice if they got something else rather than all these key links, but they're still performing well considering their link set isn't the best in terms of actual buffs. But, as I already said, with that key plus 1 attack plus 7% they're getting per, Dragon Ball Seekers or GT Heroes category allies teams, category allies on the team, that's where you're primarily going to be running them. So you're always going to be getting that, extra key plus 7, attack plus 7% per 7 category allies, because it doesn't say excluding themselves, so that means it does include themselves, including also the friend lead. So you're talking what, attack plus 49%, an extra key plus 7, so you're always going to be getting their 18 key off, which is great because it means you're always kind of mini stacking their defense, always getting their pinnacle of damage out in terms of hitting the 18 key. And to end off their passive, they do get an additional key plus 3 and a high chance of performing a critical hit, which we've been seeing a hell of a lot right now, considering I only have 1 dupe in them, when all allies attacking in the same turn or Dragon Ball Seekers or GT Heroes category characters on the team as well, or in the turn, which again, you're always going to be running them with the said category allies because that is the best place to run them because of the boost in their passive. Pan's 200% lead, runs Dragon Ball Seekers with what, Bond of Friendship, etc. And those are the best units to link them with. So you're always going to be surrounded by that, which means you're always going to have a key, extra key +3, which again helps them constantly getting their 18 key off with no support whatsoever. And also having that 50% chance to crit whether you have dupes or not. So if you have dupes, you hit a crit on your 18 key, you hit an additional, raise their attack and defense again by 33%, you potentially crit again, which is obviously ideal. But this is what I mean. Now we have all of their kind of important links active. Yeah, we do. We can do this. And also we have support, because these two supply support as well to GT heroes. This is why I don't want to have them on rotation immediately, because you're not gonna run them. But you know, they have all their attack buffing links, or essentially all their buffing links active. They have the GT hero support. They have more GT hero support with the ideal linking partners. Solid support's active because of these two. They're up to 231k attack stat prior to supering, again, when they're going to get the attack and defense plus 77% on super. So that's pretty good. And 173k defense, and again, they're going to get an extra 77% defense on super as well, which means their defense is going to jump up by quite a bit. And that's also a lot of int orbs to get, considering we're already guaranteed to get a 24 key super active. So, you know, in terms of their EZA, of course, they'll perform a lot better if you do have them on Pan's 200% lead, obviously. But in terms of damage output, if they are linked up properly, they are very impressive, as you can see here with the 7.7 mil. And while having a 50% chance to crit, the amount of damage they can do is very impressive. We're seeing it there with the 5.7 mil crit. However, the units they link to aren't the best in terms of harder content. For example, the Goku and Vegeta Jr., you're not going to be taken into red zone. So are they always going to be putting out 7 mil attack stats on 170 leads? Probably not. A lot closer to it with the Pan 200% lead, obviously. Maybe not bang on. And of course, if you have more dupes, their stats are going to look a little bit better. You're going to see more additionals, more damage done, more potential of crits, things like that. Defensively, once they super within those 3 turns, they're pretty good. And essentially, they'll work really well as a floater on the category you're going to be running them on in red zone. So if you do have Pan, who can actually make it in red zone, she's very good in red zone. Of course, she's going to be in slot 1 with her damage reduction, you know. And then these guys will probably be floating just because their defense is solid for what they do. And it can be handled in red zone, but you wouldn't want them taking the brunt of a lot of attacks, and you would probably want them to avoid a super as much as possible. So yeah, it's a pretty good EZA. Are they going to be gods in red zone? No, but they should be able to handle it, again, if you do have Pan, and not too badly on a 170 GT Heroes team, even though the team probably won't be the best in red zone. I think it'll be doable. They'll probably struggle a little bit, but in terms of like Super Battle Road, they'll be good there as well. Eventually, when those categories do come out for ESBR, or if they're already out, I can't exactly remember, but they'll be good there. But it's a pretty good EZA. They're still a pretty good EZA, but this is on a 170 lead, don't forget, so they're not performing at their very best, and I do only have 1 dupe. But do note what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace!